And this is not just a journey. It is an enchanted love tale.
Once, there existed a valley called Rosavale, a place not just on the map, but in magic itself. Everything shimmered in shades of pink. The grass, the trees, the flowers, even the dust glowing softly in the air. At its heart stood a grand white marble palace, surrounded by a blooming garden that made the valley feel like a dream. A very kind king ruled over this palace. He had only one daughter, Princess Elena. Elena was innocent and breathtakingly beautiful. Her long, silky hair flowed in the wind, and there was a deep sparkle in her eyes. Yet, there was one emptiness in her life. Her mother. Elena had a great passion for mountain climbing. She had trained rigorously, dreaming of conquering a massive peak before her wedding. But her mother's early death had left the king overly protective, and he forbade her from pursuing this dangerous passion.
Father, I want to go climbing.
No, it is too dangerous. I cannot allow it.
The story has both happiness and sorrow. The king's sister, Nora, was a cunning woman. Greed always sparkled in her eyes. She wanted to rule the palace. She was extremely selfish and constantly ordered the servants around. The servants prepared different meals for her every day. Her daughter, Sophie, was just like her, sharp-eyed and full of jealousy. She stayed in her room all day while servants attended to her. The woman wanted to become queen and make her daughter a princess.
One day, this palace will have me as its queen.
Mother and daughter wanted Elena to leave the palace so the throne would fall into their hands. Then one day, the king announced that Elena would be engaged to Prince Adrian from another kingdom. Prince Adrian was a handsome and intelligent young man. Elena liked him too. Prince Adrian and Elena both had feelings for each other. The king believed he was the perfect choice for his daughter.
She could not have chosen a better match for my daughter.
After the engagement, they would sit in the garden and dream about their future, while Leo played beside them. Elena sat in her room, looking at her precious shining ring, a symbol of her love. Behind her, Nora and Sophie watched her with jealous eyes. In one of the palace rooms, Sophie stood with a burning heart. She shouted, Mother,
I want Adrian.
Nora smiled. My dear, he will be yours. Just wait and watch. I will snatch him away from Elena. Their evil intentions were ready to destroy Elena's happiness. A few days later, Elena was sitting in her room, looking at a picture of a tall mountain. That mountain was her dream. She wanted to reach its peak before her wedding. Looking at the picture, she said, One day, I will reach you. She wasn't just a princess, but a symbol of courage and determination. One morning, when Rosavale was covered in a light mist, Elena made her decision. She didn't tell anyone, didn't ask for permission. She wore a yellow and blue outfit and set off toward the mountain. She began climbing, holding onto rocks, stepping into the snow. The cold wind struck her face, but her eyes were fixed only on the peak. She was skilled and confident, placing every step carefully. But fate had something else planned. Suddenly, a snowstorm hit the mountain. The wind grew violent, the ground trembled, and Elena slipped. She began falling, hitting against rocks. With every, her screams echoed through the valley. Then a heavy. Her leg was badly injured. She sat in the snow, crying. Her tears began to freeze. Pain, exhaustion, and coldness took over, and she lost consciousness. When her disappearance was discovered in the palace...
The princess! Search every pass! Bring her home! Princess! Princess!
After a long search, they found a body in the snow. It was Elena, unconscious. Her body had turned blue from the cold. The soldiers carefully lifted her. A maid placed Elena's head in her lap and said, May God have mercy. And they set off toward the palace with her. When Elena regained consciousness, she saw a bandage tied around her leg. She tried to move, but screamed in intense pain. Father, what happened?
Oh my god! What happened?
The king pulled her into his arms. My daughter, are you all right? But the king was shattered from within because the royal physician had told
Your
him,
Majesty, the princess will never be able to walk on both legs again.
King sank into grief. Her daughter's life had been destroyed right before his eyes, and he could do nothing.
Oh, God.
When
What will become of my daughter?
Nura and Sophia found out about the accident in the palace, they started laughing. A faint smile appeared on Nura's lips. In a cunning tone, she said, "See, fate has cleared the path." Sophia laughed. Now who would marry a crippled girl? A few weeks later, Elena was given crutches for the first time. She stood in the palace courtyard. The air was still pink, but for her, all the colors had faded. She stood with the support of the crutches. Every step brought pain. The next brought tears. After the mountain accident, the atmosphere of the palace had changed. Where laughter once echoed, now there was silence. But within that silence, there was the scent of conspiracy. One day, Nura took a dangerous step. She went to Prince Adrian's palace, where he was standing in the garden. "Stay blessed, my son," she said gently. Adrian bowed his head respectfully. Nura sighed. "You know Elena will never be able to walk properly again. Think, how will you spend her life with a disabled girl?
Think carefully.
Will she be able
Are
to
you
fulfill
truly
the
prepared
responsibilities
for the
of the
future
kingdom with you?" Adrian fell silent. Doubt had been planted in his heart. "I am only telling you the truth."
Think carefully. Are you truly prepared for the future ahead?
Adrian came to meet the king.
Your Majesty, I wish to end this engagement.
Why, my son?
I'm not strong enough for this responsibility. I cannot continue this marriage.
Please. My son, don't do this.
I am sorry.
The king kept staring at the ring. Tears filled his eyes. That night, he did not eat anything. He sat alone. Elena stood in the garden with her crutches. His words broke everything.
I cannot build a future with someone when our paths are different.
The crutch slipped from her hand. She started falling, but her heart was already broken. She went crying to her father. The king was weak on his bed. "Father."
Don't
Tears
leave me,
came to his
Father.
eyes.
I need you. The kingdom needs you.
"My daughter, forgive me. I could not give you happiness." Elena kept crying. The king held her hand.
My daughter, you are my pride. You are strong. Never think you are weak. I am proud of you.
A few days later, the king passed away. Nura started insulting
It
Elena.
is because of you. Your father died. You are unlucky. Leave the palace.
I don't want to see you in this palace again.
She sat in the garden crying. But fate was still about to change. The palace was decorated with lights. Guests were dancing. Drums and music echoed. It was Sophia and Adrian's wedding. Nura was clapping happily. In a corner, Elena stood alone with tears in her eyes. A servant came.
Princess, this is your palace. You should send these people away. No, I am not your princess.
She walked away crying, not knowing where she was going, but she did not know that God had something better planned for her. The palace was full of lights and celebration, but her heart was empty. She kept walking alone on the road, tears falling with every step. Everything she once had was gone.
Nothing. No love, no family, no palace. I am empty.
Yet deep inside, a new destiny was waiting for her. The next morning, a kind elderly couple passed through the forest, collecting firewood for their living. Suddenly, the old woman noticed a girl lying beneath a tree. "Oh, look, there's a girl here," she said. They quickly went closer. The girl, Alana, slowly stirred, as if waking from a dream.
Why are you alone in the forest? Who are you?
I am just a traveler.
She replied softly. "It's not safe here. Come with us," the woman said. They took Alana to their small wooden house, which was simple but clean and warm. The old woman showed her a room and asked her to rest. Soon, Alana began living a normal life. She helped with cooking, set the table, did laundry, and even took the goats to graze. Slowly, the emptiness in the couple's hearts was filled, as if they had found a daughter. They were happy again. But every night, seeing the distant lights of her grand mansion, Alana would quietly cry, because even in a loving home, she hadn't forgotten where she came from. After a few days, a young boy named Ethan came to the village. He was tall, wore simple clothes, and had a calm personality. There was a strange depth in his eyes, as if he had seen a lot in life. He had come from the city in search of work. Walking along the village road, he saw an old man struggling to load firewood onto a cart. Without hesitation, Ethan stepped forward.
Sir, let me help you. You will get tired.
Looked at him in surprise. Son, you look like a traveler. Why are you here?
My name is Ethan. I am looking for work.
Without waiting, Ethan started pulling the cart himself. The old man smiled at his kindness. All right, you can stay and work with me. He took Ethan home and introduced him to his wife, who welcomed him warmly. That same day, Elena was in the courtyard. Though she now lived in this house, a silent pain still lingered within her. Suddenly, her eyes met Ethan's, and she felt uneasy. Who are you? She asked softly.
Who are you?
I came from the city in search of work.
The old man allowed me to stay here, Ethan replied. Elena looked at him for a while, then became silent. In the evening, when everyone was busy preparing food, Elena was setting the table. Ethan silently started helping her. Together they prepared the meal simply, and everyone sat and ate together. A strange peace filled the house. After dinner, Elena was sitting in the veranda, looking at the sky. Ethan slowly came to her. Looking at the moon, he said, "When I look at the moon, it feels like life can be so beautiful, even if it is incomplete." Elena's eyes became wet. She softly said, "Not everything is beautiful." And she lowered her gaze toward her crutch. With time, a silent understanding developed between them.
All right.
The next day, Elena went to the hills to herd goats. Suddenly, one goat ran away. She tried to follow it with her crutches, but lost balance. She was about to fall when Ethan came and held her.
Are you all right?
Yes, I think so. Thank you.
Gently made her sit and took the rope of the goats. His eyes kept returning to her. A silent love started growing in his heart for her. That moment became a beautiful beginning in the silence of the forest. A few days later, they went to the village market. Elena stopped in front of a shop where a big picture was hanging, a tall mountain. "Look, Ethan," she said softly. "This is my dream." Ethan smiled. "Then this dream is no longer only yours, it is ours." Elena's eyes filled with happiness. Next morning, soft sunlight spread over the village. Elena, dressed in yellow, was sitting alone waiting for Ethan, but he was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe Ethan? Where is he? I can't see him today.
Her heart grew anxious. She went to the old woman. "Mother, where is Ethan?" "I don't know, daughter. I haven't seen him since morning," the old woman replied. Fear entered Elena's heart. She thought he might have left her too. With her crutches, she slowly went to the hill and whispered to the wind, "Ethan, where are you?" But there was only silence. Suddenly, the sound of horses' hooves echoed in the distance. The villagers looked on in shock as a royal caravan approached. White horses, soldiers, and a grand carriage. A young man stepped out, dressed in golden royal attire. It was Ethan. "My name is not only Ethan," he said. "I am Prince Ethan." He walked toward Elena. "I have come to take you with me. Become my queen." Elena shook her head.
I want to marry you.
No, I am not a suitable partner for you.
I don't care about your weakness. I love your soul.
If you love me, then leave the crown.
Crown has no importance to me.
Elena smiled and placed it back on his head. "This is your real place. This was your test. That night, they were married. They placed a flag on the mountain with their names written on it. Elena's eyes filled with tears of peace.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.